Keshav Bhajanka joins us, Executive Director with Century Plyboards. Keshav, good morning. Thank you for joining us. How's business doing, my friend? Good, very good, or it's okay?
Good morning. Firstly, thank you so much for having me. The business is doing well. I think post the pandemic, the recovery has been great, and we are seeing good demand on the ground. So I'd say, all in all, yes, it is a good time period.
Where is this optimism? What is the reason behind this optimism? While I endorse that business is doing well, but why is there a sudden uptick in demand, even though interest rates have gone higher, even though there's inflationary pressure, raw material prices have gone higher? You're sounding confident and bullish.
There are a couple of factors. Firstly, if you look at it, the real estate cycle had done really poorly prior to the pandemic. For 6 to 7 years, the real estate, especially residential real estate sector, was doing very poorly. And as we all know, it is a cyclical business. So now I think the cycle has changed. Now it's a phase where real estate is doing well, residential real estate in particular is doing very well. So I think that has helped us a lot. It has helped all the building material companies, but a market leader such as ourselves has benefited more. Other than that, there has been a trend of moving from unorganized to organized. Anyone who has suffered during the pandemic with something that was broken or something that was, in shabby condition during the pandemic, when nobody is allowed to come home, where you are finding it exceedingly difficult to get repairs done, where you're feeling unsafe in calling people to your homes, they realize the value for branded product. So I think both of these factors together have really helped us.
Keshav, so who's enjoying the pricing power in the plywood industry? Is it the manufacturer or is it the consumer? Because this is a hyper competitive market. One side you're competing with your peers, and one side on the other side you're competing with the unorganized sector per se.
I would say it's a mix of both, but by virtue of being market leaders, we do have some
But the
pricing
fact,
power in our hand. We have been able to pass on the majority of cost increases to the market. And I think going forward also, any further raw material price inflation can be passed on. There is a time lag to it, so that impacts margins for say a quarter or two. But beyond that, I think players such as ourselves have the ability, because of the brand that we have created, to pass on any raw material price increases to the market.
okay. I want to understand the trend in terms of what is happening within the unorganized versus organized market. The rate of change, I think, is visible. If I look at the market share gains, what companies have, whether it is Century or whether it's some of your peers, the rate of change is there. But has the rate of change accelerated after COVID? Why I'm asking you this question is because in a lot of sectors, which were in a sense a play between unorganized and organized, COVID has been a game changer.
Yes, I would tend to agree with that. COVID has definitely accelerated the pace of change. I think the move towards a more formalized economy has taken place quite a few years earlier, but it has definitely played a role in hastening the speed of that change. And I'm hoping that going forward, further accelerates further.
Kesha, thank you so much for explaining us the pricing power, who it rests with, how pricing is likely to move forward. But what's also very clear is the demand that has been coming in. Will you be incurring new Capex to meet this kind of demand, or do you still have enough capacity?
We do have excess capacity in some of our verticals, for instance, in plywood and in laminates, we do have some spare capacity, but yet we're still building on more capacity because we envision this growth phase to be much longer now. We are expanding in all our four product categories. As you know, MDF and particle board, we are running at 100% capacity utilization, so both of those areas become immediate concerns. But we're expanding in plywood, laminates, MDF, and particle board.
Okay. What about the ready-made furniture? what kind of demand are you seeing for that? And taking forward from that, when we talk about ready-made furniture and all this pent-up demand that we're seeing for housing, a lot of it they were saying initially was from the IT professionals because startup salaries were going up, but now it seems to be across the board. Rented furniture was being seen as a big booming business. Has that made a comeback? Will that then not impact you too?
You see, India's per capita consumption of furniture is far lower compared to developed countries, and I think one tenth that of China. So there's a long way to go. I think all sectors within furniture are going to do really well. Ready-made furniture is already booming, and going forward, expected to do much better. Um, this is aiding players like ourselves because we have gotten into categories such as MDF and particle board, which cater largely to ready-made furniture manufacturers. And going forward, I see the trend as further accelerating.
But I also wanted to understand as to where the demand is really coming in from. Is it from urban or is it the semi-urban areas which are contributing maximum to demand right now?
Uh, my experience initially after the pandemic, the semi-urban areas were growing very fast. Urban areas took a little bit longer because people were resistant to let people in the homes, and the pandemic, the COVID was a little more spread in metros comparatively. But in the past few months, we have seen both metros and non-metros are doing really well. Unorganized, the upmarket, the rural areas, the semi-urban areas are perhaps doing a little better, but the demand in the metros is doing well as well.
Okay, Keshav, always good to have you on the show and good chatting with you as always as well.